All right, guys, so for this next part of the challenge, we're going to work on tracking your food. So download an app tracker. So I like to use MyFitnessPal, so I will be referencing MyFitnessPal, but I know some of you guys like to use different kinds. So what we're gonna do is, you don't have to do the macros like I teach. If you are not a macro counter, you're doing your own thing and just kind of doing the challenge, I'll just do the generic basic run over of how to use it and how to track it and why. So on MyFitnessPal, you can put in all the foods that you have for the day. And I would suggest putting in the foods that you are going to eat for the day, the night before. The reason that we do this is so that you can visualize what it is that you are eating. And if you are going over your calories, if you're just counting calories or watching your calories, or if you're doing macros and you can kind of finagle them a little bit more to meet your macro needs. So you can go ahead and have it done. And so you're not in the middle of your day going, oh my gosh, I only have 300 calories left and I'm starving, right? So you're going to track them the night before every single day. And you're gonna start tracking, okay? This is what we're doing on the challenge, is we're learning to track our foods. And the reason we track our foods is because we can really get an idea of how much we are actually eating and how much each item takes up. So you go to the restaurant and you say, I'm just gonna have this roll, and you're like, it's just one roll, and then you put it in and you realize that one roll is like 100 and something calories and it's just this big, right? So then you're like, well, crap. What do I do now? Because I just took up 150 calories on one small roll. So we want to make sure that we're tracking so that we can make sure that we are getting enough food, the optimal amount of food, and we're not having to scramble around and starve ourselves when we're really hungry because we only have 200 calories left for the day. Well, I can't go over my calories. I only have 200 left. So I'm just not going to track, or I'm not going to eat. So, okay, well, I'll just have a banana and I guess that's it. Or I'll just have a salad. I can't put anything on my salad because it takes up calories, but I'll just have a salad. And then it's like, you didn't really choose to eat your salad. You just kind of had to deal with having a salad kind of thing. And it's not quite as enjoyable when you don't get to choose what you eat. So choose what you're going to eat, track it the night before, go into MyFitnessPal, and you can go into, if you're on your app, on your phone, you can go over to more. It's a ... and it's more. And in there you have different options in your settings. And one of them is goals. And you can change your goals, your calorie goals, how much you want to lose a week. MyFitnessPal does not calculate how much you should be losing each week. It does not calculate that very well. It is not accurate. So please do not go off of that. All right? Don't get stuck in that. So don't take a look and say, well, it says that I should be losing in 2 weeks of doing this. If I ate like this for 2 weeks, I'll weigh this much. Don't put any weight on that. Okay, that's not going to work. So go into more, and then you can put however many calories you're going to be eating, or that you want to be eating, if you haven't already done this. Or if you're doing macros, then you can adjust your macros. You can do it by a percentage, or you can do it by a gram. And if you are entering this part of the challenge and you really need some help with figuring out the calories, or if you wanted to try macros, then send me a message. You can do it on the Facebook group if you're on the Facebook group, or you can email me through the website, or you can just set up a free one-on-one on my website under Book Now, and we can talk about that. So we can get you set up and we can get that rolling for you if you want. So now if you already have what you're going to be doing, then you'll just put it in there, and then you'll go back to diary. So the bottom has like the 4 options, and the second option is diary, and that's where you're going to add in all of your food. If you need more of a detailed way of inserting your food, I can definitely show you that. I can put something on the Facebook group and do that as well. But you're gonna go into that diary and it has breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you can switch that up if you want. That's getting a little bit more in depth on how many snacks or things that you want. But just put them in and the night before and figure out kind of where you're at. On that diary page, if you scroll down to the very bottom, it says nutrients. And if you hit nutrients, it gives you 3 different options. You'll want that middle option. So one of them says macros, one of them says nutrients or something, and then one of them says something else. But you want the middle option, and that'll show you kind of how much sugars you've had, fats you've had, if you really want a detailed description of what exactly you're eating and how much you've gone over. So then you can just insert all of your foods, and you can search the foods that you want. You can create your own recipes as well. If there is an item that you like to eat often, if you have an oatmeal that you really, really enjoy, you're not finding it on the MyFitnessPal app, or you just add in your own things and you want to know how much that takes up in your calories, then you can create your own recipe and then just insert it every day. So that's what I want you to focus on. This is a big job. It seems super, super simple, like, oh, I'll just track my food. It's a really big job. The first 2 days, you're like, okay, I've got it. This is super easy. By the end of the week, you're gonna either be forgetting because you're getting really, really busy, or you're going to be really like lax in your journaling of it and your tracking, and you're gonna say, well, I had 2 cookies, but I didn't really put it in because it's just 2 cookies, right? So any and everything that you eat, whether it was planned or not, it goes in. This is going to give you a really, really good idea of what it is that you are eating and making sure that you're not going over whatever it is that you are not trying to go over. All right, we're all on different paths. We're all doing different food plans or diets or whatever it is that you are doing. So this is just a one-size-fits-all video. So whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure that you're not going over it, and make sure that you're tracking the night before. I cannot stress that enough. That is the key to tracking. When you are sitting in bed and you are on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or Netflix, whatever it is, that's the time that you have that you can go ahead and track that next day's meal. Say, okay, well, I really want some oatmeal in the morning. Okay, put the oatmeal in. I don't really know what I'm going to do for lunch, but I know for dinner we're gonna go out, or for dinner I'm gonna make this. So then put dinner in. What you know you are going to eat, go ahead and put it in. Look how much you have left and then decide. And I want you to make that conscious choice to say, all right, well, I have 450 calories left for the day after I've put in what I know I'm going to be having. Now, what can I have? And then I want you to put it in, and don't go, well, we may go out to eat for lunch. I don't really know. I want you to make the choice that night before. Sometimes we can't always control it, and I understand that. All right. So if you do have one of those days at work that you brought your lunch, but then your boss brings pizza for everyone, you can choose to eat the pizza if you want. That's your own choice, or you can stick with your lunch. I know that sometimes things don't go the way that we plan, and that's okay. The point is to do it like at least 99% of the time, right? So make that choice the night before and say, okay, I have this much left for the next day. What can I have? What can I eat? And then do that. And say, well, I really want to have some cookies today, or I really want to have a soda, or I really want to have chips. Whatever it is that your little special thing is, make sure you put that in first. I'm going to have chips today. Put it in first. I'm gonna have a half a cup of chips, however much, a handful of chips, which ends up being a half a cup to a cup, depending, I'm gonna have that tomorrow because that's my day that I'm gonna do it. Put that in first. That's the very first thing you do, so that you know that you have room for it. and then start to add on top of that everything else, okay? Make the time to do that. It will make your life so much easier, so much less stressful the next day. You're not having to find what can fit in your day, and you're not having to starve yourself or say, oh my gosh, I've still got 600 calories left. Man, I didn't eat anything today. Now I got to shove it all in, you know. Plan ahead. That is the point of this goal this week. All right. Good luck. If you have questions, this is going to be a harder one, a tougher one to really kind of grasp and get a hold of. If you have questions, please reach out any and every way you can. Post on the Facebook group. There are lots of other people that either might have that question or would be able to answer that for you, maybe quicker than I would. We're really busy with moving and stuff like that, and so I may or may not be able to get to you immediately, but I will do my best. But you can put it there, and people will be able to help, or they'll be like, yes, how do I do this? And if there's enough people, then I'll just make a video, you know, or something like that. But reach out if you are struggling and having trouble understanding how to calculate and how to track. I am here every step of the way for you, so please utilize that. It does not bother me. It does not take anything away from my day, because that is what I'm here for. All right? Okay. You've got this. Keep it up. Continue to do all the things that we've already been doing up until this point as well. And then now we're going to add tracking. All right? Okay. Good luck, guys. You're going to do great.